This is my fear, and these are my worries and my concerns and my doubts of myself, that I'm not good enough. And this is my confidence just coming for it. Just taking it out. It's gone. We're not doing that crap no more. We got better things to do. As you can tell by the title of this video, we are talking about failure today, or more importantly, the fear of it. For me personally, failure is terrifying. It has kept me from doing so many different things in my life, and I think I'm just at a point now where I'm so tired of being afraid of it, because failure is just a part of life. I can't control that. I can't control whether or not something's gonna pan out for me, because sometimes it just comes down to sheer luck. And I also thought it would be just, so much fun if with this video, while I, speak about my own journey with failure and what failure is and just general, that I also include some clips and videos of me doing things that scare me, because why not go ahead and just face this fear head on and just show the whole internet all the stuff that I'm not that great at. We're just taking the risk today, y'all. We're just doing it. It's cool. Of course, because there's a word to go along with absolutely everything, there is a fun little word to go along with the fear of failure, which is etychophobia. And etychophobia typically comes from either growing up in a situation where your parent or your guardian, whoever was, looking after you or around you, were very critical and unsupportive of you and your dreams and your talents and your wishes. So you kind of just carried that idea like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm dreaming too big, with you into adult life. And the other place where it stems from is some kind of traumatic event that happened when you were younger, or just at some point in your life that is somehow linked to failure. So maybe you gave a presentation in class and you failed and everybody laughed at you and it was super humiliating and you still have nightmares about it. That's a trauma. That's a traumatic event right there. And somehow it's followed you all the way 20 years later. It'd be like that. I don't know. So etychophobia, along with its little fun name, comes with its own list of symptoms. And let me tell you, while I was reading this, I was just like, yep, yeah, yep, yes. Symptoms include reluctance to try new things or get involved in challenging projects because you feel like that's too hard. It's just too hard. There's no way that you could do it right. So just don't do it at all. So that way you won't fail, and then nobody will see you and you won't have to do a shame walk. It's easier that way, right? Wrong! It's not easier. It just hurts your soul. Self-sabotage, which is like procrastination, extreme anxiety, and just the failure to follow through with your goals. So you might set a goal or say, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna do this, and then you're gonna sit and think about it all the way up until the day that the goal was set for, and not do it, and not get it done. And by doing that, you are self-sabotaging yourself, which sucks, because in this case you are your own worst enemy and you have nobody else to blame, which makes you feel like even more of a failure. Oh, it's crazy. It's just like this terrible cycle of sadness. Low self-esteem or low self-confidence, because if all you do is fail and then get down on yourself about failing at failing, then it's just gonna continue to bring your self-esteem and your self-confidence down further and further and further until eventually you're just like, I can't do anything. Perfectionism. Only doing things that you know that you can do perfectly. So I definitely want to talk about this one because, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I pick up on creative things specifically. I pick up on creative things or anything to do with like the senses pretty easily. And if you are into astrology or anything, I'm definitely into astrology. I'm a Taurus, so that is kind of a Taurian trait, that Tauruses are really good at just kind of picking up creative skills, and anything to do with the senses they do really well at. So there's a lot of different faucets that I can turn to in order to be creative and to express myself. And there's a lot of different skills that I can do that I'm decent at. I'm not, world class or anything, but if I were to truly apply myself, I would be pretty damn good. And the problem with that is I confuse that feeling of being good at something, because it feels good to be good at something, because, oh, well, I'm not failing, so I must be doing pretty good, and maybe I should continue to do this as like a career or a side hustle. And so I start to do it while I'm good at it, and like that rush of, oh, this is cool, I'm good at this, is still going on. And then but eventually it dies down, and I'm left doing this thing that just doesn't really interest me, isn't really challenging in any way, isn't fun. And I don't want to continue to do it anymore. So it's hard to make that distinction between truly enjoying something and being passionate about it and just doing something because I'm good at it. I have never been the most rational person, or I've never wanted to be someone who worked what would be deemed like a normal job, like a STEM job that, has good benefits and has a good income and just seems safe. I've never wanted to do that. I have always been a creative person. I wanted to be a singer and an actress, and instead of really pursuing those things and trying to do those things, just like from the get-go, I was like, no, I'm not good enough. There's so many other people out there who want to sing and act and dance and all those things, so like I'll just let them do it, because there's no way that I can amount to what they're doing. No. So I just put it away. Sing on my own time, act on my own time, daydream and fantasize. And I decided to go into a degree of advertising because I was good at designing and it was safe. So I'm now 12 weeks away from graduating with a degree in an industry that I have no intention of going into. Not one intention. Because I have discovered after having to do design and advertising work for 3 years that I hate it. It stresses me out, it exhausts me, and it doesn't challenge me creatively in a way that I enjoy. So this is my little plan for healing my relationship to failure and stopping being afraid of it. Some of these steps I got from this awesome little website I was on, which I will link it below so that you can look into it yourself, but I also recommend looking at some other websites and articles and stuff too, just to get some extra information and to do some introspection for yourself, because that is always super good. Step 1, redefining failure for myself. My definition of failure has caused me a lot of pain and is pretty dang toxic, because my definition is just pretty much anything that I'm not good at, which is a lot of things because there are so many different avenues of skills and interest and things to learn, and I don't know what those are. I haven't tried a lot of them, and some of them I've tried and I just wasn't good at as soon as I picked them up. So then I'm like, oh, well, I'm a failure. You suck at this. But it's like, that doesn't give me any room to be a beginner. That doesn't give me any room for growth at all. That means I have to remain stagnant in what I'm good at only, which gives me also no challenge. So how am I supposed to grow to be a better person and a better artist if I'm not challenging myself, I'm not taking risks, I'm not trying, I'm just existing? So I think how I would like to redefine the word failure is a necessary lesson to be learned before you succeed. Failure happens. It happens to everybody. It happens all the time. You could fail moment to moment. You could fail one day and then not fail for a year. But everybody fails. And the thing about failure is that you always learn something from it. How to, do that thing better. Maybe that thing just wasn't for you in particular at all. And now you can apply those lessons that you've learned to then succeed. And the second step is getting rid of fear. There are a lot of little sub steps within here that I'm just going to go into and talk about a little bit. So, stay with me, bear with me. Acceptance. Failure is a part of life. It is a part of everybody's life. Everybody fails at some point, and then they'll do it again, and they'll do it some more, and they're going to do it over and over and over and over. There is absolutely no shame in it. So do not get down on yourself. Accept yourself for your weaknesses. Removing the unknown. Personally, I really like this because I have anxiety, and not knowing what a place looks like or what's going to happen, a lot of times that might make doing things harder for me. So by removing that not knowing, it makes it easier. And you can do that in terms of failure through visualization. Visualize the outcomes. What does it look like if you succeed? What does it look like if you're doing well? And get comfortable with that feeling and what it looks like and what it smells like. If you can really dive into the senses, that kind of stuff really helps too. It's also super good for manifestation, so you'll also be doing a little bit of magic too. The chances are, if it's something that you really enjoy and are really passionate about, the outcomes are going to be pretty dang good. Even if it's not $1 million or eternal fame, maybe it's just happiness and it's just more time with your family. That's good enough though. Be more positive. This little recommendation was given by the website and honestly was mildly annoying to see. It irks me when people are like, well, just be more positive. You're depressed, just throw some happiness on it. You'll be totally fine. That's not how it works for some people. When you hear that little seed of doubt coming into your head or the voice saying, oh no, you're not good enough. No. Just say something positive. That's all you have to do. You don't even have to believe it. But hearing more positive things and positive reinforcement instead of just hearing how terrible you are is going to lead you to feel better about what you're doing. And it might help you get through it. And that's good thing powerful. I'm currently practicing positive affirmations, which is just saying positive things to yourself, looking yourself in the eye in the mirror, and telling yourself how much you love yourself and how awesome and capable you are. And I can't lie, I don't believe half the crap I'm saying to myself yet. But the thought is that eventually you do believe it. So if you just continue to fake it till you make it, one day you will make it. Make a plan B. Maybe it might help you feel more comfortable if you put a plan B in place. Like say, okay, I'm gonna take this risk and I'm gonna try at this thing I'm interested in for X amount of time. And then if it's not giving me this, money or happiness or whatever kind of reward you want to say, by this date, then I will go to my plan B to ensure that, I'm taken care of or something good is happening and I'm not just taking this risk that's not rewarding me in any way. It might make you feel a little bit more comfortable. And that's totally cool if that's what you would like to do. Or you don't have to do it at all. Maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable just diving in head first, or you're an all or nothing kind of person. Totally fine. These are just little things you can do. You need to get comfortable with trusting yourself. And you're going to do that by building your self-confidence and your self-esteem. And you can build these things by setting goals, achieving them, and then celebrating yourself. Don't start big. Don't start with a goal that's going to take you 8 months and a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of hard work. That's just too much. Start little. If it's hard to get out of bed in the morning, set a goal to wake up an hour earlier. Bam. If you struggle to make food for yourself, set a goal to make yourself a nice dinner. Little things that have a little bit of challenge to them, but not so much so that it's overwhelming for you. And then after you achieve these little goals, take a moment to appreciate yourself, to appreciate the work that you put in to achieve that goal. By doing these things, it will build your self-confidence and your self-esteem, because you'll see, you know what? I'm not a complete failure. I set a goal and I achieved it. I did exactly what I wanted to do for myself. Thank you so much for sticking around with me and sharing this moment with me. Please get out of your head and into the world to live and love creatively, because risks are worth taking and you are deserving of acceptance and you are capable of succeeding. Share in the comments any of your thoughts or feelings, and like and subscribe, because I'm gonna make other kind of videos like this, I think, because I really enjoyed this. So hit me up if you're afraid of failure. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's grow together. When you're not proud of yourself, I'll be proud of you for you. I will congratulate you on getting out of bed because you did awesome today.